Hey everybody, and welcome to the bullshit party. And in this one, we're gonna be completing a custom challenge with the current podium vehicle, the Caracara 4x4. And if you're wondering why mine's pink, I'm gonna refer you to this video, where with the help of my viewers, I customized it, and reviewed it, and ultimately made it pink. But anyway, back to this video. This is what the challenge is gonna be. Since the Caracara 4x4 is an off-road vehicle, the challenge is gonna match that. We're gonna be trying to climb Mount Chiliad from its most northern side. This is easier said than done since this is the steepest side of the mountain. The challenge is gonna have a 10-minute time limit and it can only be performed once. So regardless of things like weather conditions or my ability to drive up the hill, this is gonna be a one-shot deal. And I can already hear what you're thinking, but I saw you in the beginning of the video on the top of the mountain. Did you really? And with the exposition out of the way, and me clearly not wasting $3 million on this piece of junk jetpack, it's time to get started. And this is where we're gonna start from, the northern town right at the skirts of the mountain. As you can see, the mountain looks pretty big from down here, so despite what your parents told you, it's all about the angle. And with that, it's time to make our triumphant return to the mountain to see if we're able to complete this challenge. And just as a reference, I have completed this exact challenge before with the Brawler. And for the record, it's one of the most underutilized and underrated vehicles in the game. And if you want to check out the video, I'll leave a link with it somewhere around here so you can check it out after you watch this one. But unlike the Brawler, which was a rear-wheel drive, very low center of gravity car, the Caracara 4x4 is an all-wheel drive, very high center of gravity vehicle. And even though I kept saying in the last video that it's my favorite off-road vehicle, I don't know how it's gonna perform in this one. The timer's gonna start as soon as we touch the mountainside. And we're off. And as you can see, the Caracara has absolutely no trouble with this terrain. It's just chugging along as if it were on rails. But this isn't the part of the run that's worrying me. The higher we climb, the more vertical the terrain's gonna get. And the more vertical the terrain, the higher center of gravity is gonna have an impact on the vehicle's performance. At least that's what I think, but let's see what happens. Even though it's rare, I've been known to have been wrong before. And if that sentence was incorrect, I don't care. Catch me outside, how about that? But back to the challenge. We're 30 seconds in and the truck seemed to be going on a fairly good pace. If we keep this pace up, we're gonna be up the mountain in about 45 seconds from now. But this, just like most things in life, isn't gonna be a perfect story. Here's where the first signs of trouble started to appear. As you see, the truck's having a very difficult time gaining traction. I think this is a combination of the higher center of gravity as I mentioned earlier, along with the weird all-wheel drive system. And I'll explain what I mean by that. As far as I'm aware, in GTA Online there are two types of all-wheel drive vehicles. First ones are the ones that have all-wheel drive turned on all the time. So if you, for example, go up against a wall and press the gas pedal, all four wheels are gonna start spinning at the same time. The second type, however, is a bit trickier, and it's the one that this vehicle has. It's some sort of a weird differential split traction control system that doesn't really make sense. For example, right here I'm having a very difficult time gaining traction with the truck. In other cases, I've had the gas pedal pressed all the way down and the truck just doesn't go. And I think the traction problem is a combination of the weird all-wheel drive system and the center of gravity that I keep referring to. And this right here, this is all me, baby. And I'm sure that all of you viewers are familiar with the term snowball effect. And I believe that term originated from somebody playing GTA Online and doing something similar to this. And for the sake of this video being somewhat interesting, I'm gonna be putting only the highlighted moments here. And if you wanna watch the full unedited climb, I'm gonna be adding it to the end of this video. So let's just pretend this didn't happen and let's go back up the mountain. And as you can see, I lost over a minute climbing back to the spot where I fell from. But don't worry, nobody makes the same mistake twice. I mean, how big of an idiot do you need to be? Oh. And this stumble was, I'm afraid, worse than the first one. So bad in fact, we basically ended up on the street level. But don't worry guys, unlike Icarus who didn't have wings anymore after he flew too close to the sun, our vehicle is still okay. And in no time, we were back at the point where we fell from. Twice. So what did we do? We tried a third time and we almost fell. But don't worry, as they say, fourth time is a charm. I'm sure someone says that. We're so close to the top and we still have over 4 minutes to play around with. So I'm gonna change my strategy up a little bit and I'm gonna go slow and steady. Cause you know what they say, slow and steady wins the race and the turtle at the end, Now, who could see that coming? Anyway, as you can imagine, I fell, but this time on the other side of the hill. So what did I do? Did I quit? No, I went back up and completed the challenge. The end. Thanks for watching. No, that's not what happened. Of course I fell again. And as you can see here, the truck's biggest strength is right now its biggest weakness. Its high center of gravity, powerful engine, and good ground clearance looks to be the death of this challenge. But like a good old boy, I climbed back up. Oops, wrong clip. And I was ultimately forced to climb from the other side of the mountain. And as you probably can see on the top left hand side of the screen, we're nowhere near the top and we're already a minute over the allowed time. So ultimately I gotta say that this challenge was a bust, but not entirely. Even though we failed the challenge, I had a lot of fun completing it, or not completing it. It's actually one of those things that I encourage all of you to try out. And if you do, let me know what your time was in the comment section down below. We're able to make it in less than 10 minutes, cause I definitely wasn't. And with that, as promised, at the end of the video I'm gonna put the entire unedited climb. And if you thought I fell a lot, I probably picked 4 or 5 out of 15 falls. In conclusion, I still think this is a great off-road vehicle. Just not great for climbing. Just the way it topples over every time you go sideways is... well, it's not ideal, let's put it that way. And here we are at the top with a final time of 11 minutes and 54 seconds. Or rather, we will be in 3, 2, 1... there we go. Like the video, subscribe, and here's the entire climb. Hey, I can see my house from here.